Good people, good people. It's another week, another episode of Monarchs of Wrestling. We're doing a little different this week, though. This week, um, we are going to be discussing just our thoughts on the state of pro wrestling throughout the shows that we cover the most, which of course would be NXT, TNA, AEW, and Raw and SmackDown, and of course PLEs, pay per views, whatever you want to call them, all that good stuff, but. Just really want to dig into some stuff. Lots of rumors have been flowing around, and I know my guy Playmaker be all up on those. So we're gonna debunk some, maybe question some, maybe look into some. So
definitely looking.
Yeah, we're gonna definitely look into it, and then it's gonna be more of an open thing. So if you in the comments, you got a question about something, drop that there. We talk about that too, because it's we want to do something a little different, trying to switch it up a little bit. We don't want y'all to feel like we're doing the same thing every week, and we don't want to do the same thing every week. You know what I'm saying? Man, make it fun, switch it up. So this is a chance. We're gonna take it. Only thing we got to do the normal thing is, of course, Backlash. Got to talk about that. So we're gonna wait a little bit later, but I'm gonna go ahead and get y'all's whistles wet for one of the things I know we're gonna talk about. We are going to discourse the four people who are no longer with WWE and the reasons why we think. Two of them I think is pretty clear based on reports why they're not there, and our thoughts on time and all that good stuff. So we definitely get into that. So be prepared. It's coming. But until we get to that point, lots of more stuff to go. So we're gonna just do it a little simple here. It ain't gonna really be no separation. We're just gonna talk about certain topics, and then if it affects a certain wrestling brand, we'll throw them in there, and we're gonna get to it. So, Playmaker, would you like to start with the first topic, or would you like me? Because they're really coming from us. Ain't nothing. We're doing a little different, a little loose this week, y'all.
Well, I had to go back to my research to recap what I had seen on NXT. Trying to keep up so many things, you miss some stuff. You got to go back and refresh your memory.
Yes, sir.
So we're gonna be getting into NXT because we had a debut in NXT.
We did.
Evil has arrived. So between the two of you, more the New Japan type guy. So what can you tell the people about Mr. Evil?
Evil's what you would call a good hand, right? He's been in some groups, and the big thing about him is he's gonna bring it every week, right? We can get all the details. New Japan, they run their storylines and then they flip it. They don't sit there and regurgitate the same thing over and over. You evolve and you change in New Japan, based on what your storyline has you in. But Evil's been there a while. What I would call a good hand. He's been in several groups and factions. Always was a standout member. And, you're going to get good work in the ring. My only question, I'm always curious when you bring somebody over, from New Japan. Like, we've seen guys be very successful. And then we've seen guys flounder that we thought would be really good. So it's all dependent upon me to how they use him. But as far as him coming, he should be a good talent. He should be somebody that, worst case should be a mid-card guy once he gets to the main roster. But that's all in the WWE system and how they use him and how he adapts to the WWE style, which, everybody says is always totally different.
Okay. Now, question for you, sir. Because NXT was in chaos. Like legit chaos. How you feel where NXT is at now? Because after Evil showed up, Tavion Heights decided to take a shot at the champion, Tony D'Angelo. After Miles Bourne successfully defended his North American title, somebody wanted to take a shot at Mr. Bourne. So we is around here taking shots at champions now. How you feel about the chaos in NXT?
I live for chaos in NXT. that to me is the best version of NXT when you got some chaos. So to me, the more chaos, the better you get with NXT. To me, that's the point of NXT, right? You get the chaos, you people learn, adapt, develop, so that when they go to the main roster, you have, or when they get released and go to AEW or TNA or New Japan or wherever, because they normally stay in the business, right? They get released, they have that experience, and it makes it more fun watching. If NXT is the same as SmackDown and Raw and TNA, what's the point in watching a lesser version of what you already see? Give me something different. And they are doing that. And they are differentiating themselves from TNA too, which I like. Be your own thing. Bring chaos and anarchy. And let's see how long you can last.
Oh, there's been some chaos. NXT has been on one for a couple of weeks now. Okay, we hyping up the chaos around here.
Yeah, I also like what's going on with TNA in regards to chaos with the system and different things and the different iterations, we'll say, of groups or people that are coming for the system. You got Mike Santana 1 week, you got Leon Slater, Moose, you got the Hardys. And now, speaking of the Hardys, we've reintroduced the chaos of Broken Matt Hardy in the Broken Universe in the TNA. So for those of you who are fans of, the Broken Universe, it's coming back, thanks to the Righteous. And that by itself is a reason to have the Righteous. Because I wanted to be honest, at this age, Matt and Jeff just being the regular Hardys has no interest in me, right? Like, I don't hate them, but we've seen that for Lord knows how many years. But Broken Matt Hardy, that's a different dude, So that at least adds something different to the characters and adds something different to what's popping. So not mad about that at all. Not mad about that at all. Oh, and by the way, a couple of comments here. First, Miss Yolanda Williams says, "Hey, hello, Miss Yolanda. Thank you for tuning in. We can always guarantee Miss Yolanda is going to tune in, show us some love, and appreciate that." And then Big Baby Sports says, "Hit the like button and subscribe." Absolutely. You know what? I'll leave them up there for a few minutes. Let's leave them up there for a few minutes. Everybody, do what he said. Do what he said.
We real play colors and the Playmakers Network.
At Playmakers Network. And if you would like alternative sports, it's Shady Sports as well. So, hey, let's get it. You know what I'm saying? I'm really excited, man. I think that everybody's doing some different things. AEW, you got the chaos of Darby Allin being champion. That's complete chaos and anarchy by itself. Because I truly believe that there's a lot of people that just tick that he's champion.
And the crazy thing is, they did something that WWE normally does. They did long-term storytelling.
They did very long-term storytelling. And I got to be honest, I didn't think it was going to turn out this way. I'm not really mad at it, but I just didn't think it was going to turn out that way. But I do feel like a lot of other people are, that Darby is champion. And it's size-based. It's not skill-based, it's size-based. Like, and I get it because the argument is, how long can you have a champion that's this small? Right? You got a lot of big behemoth giants out there. And Darby's not a short, thick, stocky guy. Right? Darby is smaller than Orange Cassidy.
Well, we just surprised my sister. She didn't even know Darby Allin was the champion of AEW.
She says, "I'll let you read it, sir."
Oh, I'm gonna say it. So
that's why I said I'll let you read it.
Damn, I know you lying. No, we're not lying. Darby Allin is the champion in AEW.
And then she says, "I haven't watched AEW in so many weeks." Yeah, you've been missing a lot, Miss Williams. That one thing I'm gonna say about AEW is they're learning to take the stars that they have and how to use them. But and we're gonna talk about every promotion that we talk about for this one. Who do you feel needs at least one, maybe more, new factions? And if you have some people in mind, you can feel free to give them, but you don't have to.
I'm good with
Yolanda also
TNA.
says laugh out loud.
I think I'm good with TNA right now. Yeah, order for the system. I think around 2 or 3 you good. Because you don't need that.
Order 4 is garbage.
It is, but you have the system which everybody's gunning for, which means the system is the target.
I think TNA needs another strong faction that could actually oppose the system or live in like they on this side, they on that side, and then at some point they come together and they're gonna have to do battle. I like to see Moose have a new group. I'll even give you some people I think could be in that group with him. I was thinking about this
Okay, Moose
on my drive home. So I'd like to see Moose. I'd like to see Leon Slater rock with Moose.
That was the first person that came to my head.
A fun guy to rock with. So what?
I said that was the first person that came to my head. No, literally the first person that popped in my head when you said that. I'm like,
yeah.
Moose.
And then, yeah, like Moose, Leon Slater. There's a dude BDE that's newer to the roster. I would love for him to be in a group with Moose. And then there's another group, Trey Miguel. I think any combination of those dudes would be a really good group. And notice, this group is all people of color. Yes, it is. That's not really on purpose. It just happened to work out. There a group of young dudes that be elevated by being with him. You know what I'm saying? The other person that I would say could use a faction is EC3. Because you coming in, yeah, you go like a Rich Swan. You know, maybe a I'm trying to think. It's not really too many people. I would love for Chris Bay to get back and see him in the group, but it's going to take a while more. He's walking and stuff again, so he's definitely looking better. You know, maybe like Elijah, maybe, you know, just throwing some names out there. The hometown.
Oh,
yeah, you know, one more good, strong faction. I like the idea of Moose a lot better, to be honest with you. But I think one more strong faction in TNA, and maybe you incorporate a couple of the females in there. You get you a female in each faction. I think that would be solid, in my opinion.
Okay.
All right, and then Yolanda says, I'm mad I can't watch TNA. Rod is in the building. Rod says, what's up, fellas? What's going on, Rod?
If you got what is on? Are they on what channel are they on now? AME?
I think so. Yeah.
They got a cable deal now, Yolanda. You might be able to find it.
Yep.
Is it an AME, AMC, one of them two?
And she might be talking about the time too, because I don't think it's replay. I think you either watch it or you just got to see clips. I don't know if you can like replay it like you can WWE. So it might be the time for it too. Just saying it might be. I don't know worst case like that, but you know it might be time. Let's slide on over to the world of AEW. What do you think about another faction in AEW?
The only way that I can see another faction in AEW, they literally need to cut the family out.
Amen. Amen. You know what? I got to get that something. I got to give that something. I got to get a couple of things. That's the first one it gets. And you know why they need to cut the family out?
But the cream will rise to the top. Oh, yeah.
Who was the cream in that darn family?
The two guys that are going to be fighting from the faction is going to be fighting in the next. At the next, I think there's this pay-per-views, and that's going to be Kazuchika Okada and Konosuke Takeshita. That's two of the cream in that group for sure. I like Andrade. The problem with them is, like you said, there's too many people.
I think Andrade ran his course. So
Andrade ain't been there for about 3 months. Bro.
No, when I say ran his course, I think when I say that, I mean him being somewhere at the top.
Well, I mean, as far as the group goes, not overall.
So
he could be national champion, or he could be one of these bottom. One of these, bro. Let me keep some knowledge to you real quick. Do you know how many men singles championships they have? And this is not me bloating the numbers. These are actual factual championships. No BS. So they have the AEW national champion. They have the international champion. Why do you have a national and an international champion? Because Tony Khan was in the powder tornado for like 3-4 days. That's why you have both of those. Before you even ask. TNT champion, Continental champion, and the world champion. So you, as a male individual wrestler, you have 5 championships that you can go for. Female, you don't have 2 right now as an individual, and that's the world champion and the TBS champion. But if Tony Khan gets back in one of those powder tornadoes, which I expect him to do, it's going to be more. But let me give you some examples of some of the groups that's in AEW. I don't think they need another group. I agree, just because they have so many already. You got the Bang Bang Gang, which is the boy, my brain just went completely blank for like 5 seconds. It's the
Bang Bang Gang. You got the Ops.
You got Dark. You got technically Dark Order. You got the Crew. You got the Paragon. You got the Don Callis family. You got Shane Taylor Promotions.
No, we didn't even say the main one yet. That's the crazy part.
Nope. You got the Demand as a group. You got the Hurt Syndicate. You got Hounds of. No, that's not even really a group anymore. You got a group called Paid in Full. You got the Dogs. You got the Death Riders. You got Top Flight. You got so many.
I want y'all to listen. It took him. He called out 11 different factions before he got to the Death Riders.
And don't forget, you got the conglomeration too, and the frat house.
14 groups / factions. Tony Khan, I'm gonna be honest with you. You need to kill about half of those.
You got a group called the Swirl. Then you got MXM Collection, or MXM TV actually, because that includes Johnny TV. You got the Premier Athletes. Don't forget the Elite. Don't forget the Kingdom. So yeah,
I take that back. You need to kill 3/4 of your faction / groups.
Oh, and if we're gonna bring in Ring of Honor, we also have La Faction Ingobernable. Yeah.
You should not have damn near 20 factions, Tony Khan.
And another tag team, you got the Grizzled Young Veterans, you got the Outrunners. So yeah, it's a lot of
And the reason why you shouldn't have about 20 damn factions because you don't feature all of them.
Correct. Correct. I think some factions need to be gone, and I think some factions need to combine, or members like that faction can be gone, and members can go to a different one where they can shine a little bit more. But long story short, the one thing about AEW that I do appreciate is that they take the time to make sure the factions are there. The one thing about AEW that I don't appreciate at times is that they don't always make it where it makes sense. And then, sir, of course, you know where we got to go next. The world of WWE.
Man,
How you feel about their factions?
this is where the rumors begin. People was looking like, oh, the old bloodline's coming back. And then all of a sudden there was rumors of, what if Jacob Fatu and the Usos be on one side? And then Solo and his tall and running mate, reconnected with Roman being on his side. I was like, I don't see it happening, but it's a very interesting thought. Very interesting thought. That was before they did the releases, though. So possibly 2 bloodline groups. I'd be interested in seeing how that goes. Who on whose side? Well, I think you're going to need another faction on the women's side because somebody's going to have to step up to further influence.
That's true.
As long as creator do right by the fatal influence, let me throw that caveat in there. And no, when I said another group, I'm not talking about Charlotte Flair, Rhea Ripley, and Alexa Bliss.
I would hope not.
I said it because that would happen on SmackDown.
Yeah, I would hope not.
I'm not talking about them 3. If I was to build, depending on how long y'all gonna keep Jade off TV, maybe you can get her group and their group into it. That depends on how long y'all keeping Jade off TV, because I know y'all giving her a break. What about you?
Well, I know you got excited and you missed the actual beginning of the question, which was NXT.
I have nothing for NXT. That's why I'm saying that. I have nothing for NXT.
I think NXT.
I really just want them to go Herb and this all dark stain. We'll be done with it.
No, I think NXT does need a female faction because they lost their faction to SmackDown. At least one of those, because you got to have some group of mean girls. NXT could use a face male faction too, but I think the issue with that is you've got to build people up enough because a lot of the main guys that you would say you can put those guys together and have a nice faction in NXT. Now they on Raw and SmackDown, so I think you'd have to build it up a little bit to be able to do that. But maybe you could use the faction to build some of the guys up with your NXT North American champion maybe as the leader. Just throw something out there. We do need another female faction.
So if you're going to do a female faction, which means he's doing a heel faction, by the way.
All my female factions are heel. I don't believe the girls ever really form a faction. They just band together when they need to.
So I have 2 candidates for you, sir.
Okay.
I know one you ain't going to disagree with. Kalani Jordan.
You need to put Kalani Cakes in a faction.
I'll team her with Kylie Armstrong.
You know who else would fit nicely with them too?
I know exactly what you think. Cause guess what? That's who she got in the face with on NXT.
Who?
Jada Parker.
I was actually gonna say Lola Vice. I don't mind Miss Parker though. Hey, Miss Parker. Yeah, don't mind that all.
Lola, I would only use why I won't say Lola Brady because right now she's in her babyface run, like the beginning of it. So, and she's the champion. I don't know if you want to cut that off right now.
I mean, you don't have to start next week. You can build up to it. You don't have to start next week. Like, they gotta come out and all be friends that week. You just.
But you know me, I am never going to say no to Miss Lola Vice.
I just like when Jada Parker did that hip hit on your girl, Blake Monroe. I was like,
Nah,
I
you
didn't
ain't
even
see
know
her.
she was
I don't
packing
know if
like
you saw.
that. My
I
gosh.
do it. Jada, bruh. I don't kid you not. I'm loving Jada Parker.
Yeah,
Her
I
and
like
her and Armstrong interaction. I was loving. I said, soon as she did, I said, "Oh, here we go. She taking the earrings out. Yo, this is finna go down."
bruh, when a woman of color, and I'm not saying that other women don't, but I know for sure when a woman of color takes her earrings off, it's going down.
And she was
That's
smiling
like
with it. So I was like, "That's
that's
the
like
worst
when
one."
dudes, that's like when the dudes take their necktie and their cufflinks and their jacket off. That's the equivalent when a woman take her earrings off.
You know what made her? She was smiling too. I was like, "Oh, it's definitely gonna go down." She's smiling, taking them off. Oh yeah, this is gonna be
Yeah,
popping.
yeah. When you're smiling, that's even more dangerous. That's when you be out there like mystical danger. Watch yourself. Around to get beside yourself.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, better be careful around Miss Parker
Go ahead though.
because she's like, she can get cute, but don't let the cuteness fool you.
Yeah, Miss Parker get down.
Then when rings come off, and some hands about to be thrown. You know who needs to be in the faction,
Who's that?
and it only works when she's in a faction. I'm noticing that because when she's not in a faction, she's not really much of a thought. Thea Hale, she needs to be in the faction.
I don't disagree with it at all.
Yeah, because her as a single doesn't work.
Yeah. She doesn't have the natural charisma at this point. Not saying that she won't never have it, but she ain't got it right now. And some people is just you need to be in a group and you need to. So what I think another thing that I think is hurting WWE as a whole, and they're doing this to the division. You're not having that vet guy that performs. Like Paul Heyman, cool, but he doesn't perform. You need a guy to teach him how to be like a top level performer, like in the ring, go through moves and run lines and different stuff like that. And I think you need somebody in the faction that can do it. It doesn't have to be the leader, but you do need that guy in the faction. Some will say, well, you got Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed's lower body is very suspect at this point. And that man's carrying a lot of weight. I really think that for him to really be what he want to be in the wrestling business, he's going to have to drop some pounds. Because he just keep hurting his lower body and being out for long periods of time. That's a lot to carry. And that's not trying to be no hater or take no shots. Just like I do want to see Bronson Reed around for a long time doing tsunamis. But you got to be able to walk into tsunamis, bro.
Bro, they had big things planned for the division. And then Braun Breaker goes down. Bronson Reed goes down.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. But I think like you need that veteran. And the other thing that I think that veteran does is, hey, Bronson, I know you can do this and you can do that, you can do that. But to make sure that you stay good, let's do this instead. Or let's let, somebody else be the big work in the match. You just come in and pop the big moves. But you can't have that like if you don't have that veteran to kind of, in my opinion, throw that in there. You know what I mean? So I think every faction needs to have that worker / mentor for the other guys. I think that's what the Vision's missing.
Let's see what they do.
So for SmackDown roster, any other factions? Do you think either one of them, besides the female faction, needs any other factions?
This is contingent upon the return of a certain superstar. But I would not mind having something similar of a female bloodline faction.
Who would you have in there?
We just about to say similar because all members won't be technically family. But you put the irresistible forces with Naomi.
You got to me to make her 1,000th comeback.
Will it really be worth it though?
Lash is going to be a face in less than a year, and she's going to be a killer face. Watch.
When you get the nickname Bougie Bully, that by itself says you better watch out around her.
Yeah, she's gonna be a face, and she's gonna be a face in less than a year though. And she's gonna be a nice, she's gonna be a dangerous one, but she's gonna be a face. So as the crowd gets to know her, they're gonna love her. They're gonna have to turn her face. They're gonna really love her, and they're gonna have to turn her face.
I think I hear what you're saying. They already like her, and they just working their way up.
Yeah, she's going face.
But hey, all they gotta do is put her with Trick Williams. They're gonna love her even more.
I don't think the people ready for that one.
Trick was. Did you not hear the promo?
I heard the promo. I said, people, I ain't say nothing about Trick.
I was just saying.
We know Trick ready.
Trick is what he wants.
Trick said, I'm getting that. I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, that was a great promo too.
And I ain't gonna lie, that had to have happened like right then. Because I mean, ain't nobody mad about it, but I'm sure that wasn't like a planned statement. You know what I'm saying?
Man, there was so many people on social was like, how did he deliver that with such straight face work?
He might have been straight face, but I was not, sir.
And I love how he ended it. Sammy at Backlash. I'm gonna whoop that Trick. I was like, man, that dude ain't over. I don't know what over is.
Why are we talking about Trick Williams, bro? This whole gingerbread man thing is wild, bro.
They killed the gingerbread man.
Gingerbread man thing is wild.
Sammy killed the gingerbread man.
And Sammy has turned heel.
I mean, I get the action part of it and all, but did he really turn heel?
Yes.
Did it feel like he turned it? Did it feel like he turned heel?
It definitely felt like he turned heel. Not even because he beat up the bear. That's not even why he turned heel. Tell you the moment he turned heel, nobody paid attention to it. You probably didn't either. Or you did, but you may not weigh as much. When he came out, he started saying, oh, I'm tired of you people. Why you people saying bad things about me? And, you know, my rider dies. That's a heel promo. It doesn't matter if he was kissing babies and shaking hands afterwards. You did a heel promo. And once you do a heel promo, low key, you're a heel. Now, is he going to do more healer stuff? Absolutely. Is he going to win that championship back? Nope. You know why he's not going to win that championship back? What's the rule, Playmaker?
You ain't person ain't dropping that title on the first offense.
And
unless, which we're gonna get into later, could be an exception to that rule.
It could be. I was actually gonna mention that now, but thank you for reining that in. Appreciate you. So yeah.
Matter of fact, while we talking about Twitch, shout out to Kathy Kelly for doing her best to keep a straight face.
I also let's talk about somebody that you feel like is really being underutilized, or people that you feel like are being really underutilized in each promotion. We're gonna start this one with WWE, and we got to split the brands because if not, it'd be too many people. So WWE SmackDown, who you feel like is underutilized?
Who could I see more of on SmackDown?
I can give you a simple answer for me.
Okay.
The men's tag team division on both shows. Everybody.
Do they even have a tag team division left? That's a rhetorical question, y'all. Don't answer that.
Oh, we got some comments. Why you think about it? Let's get this thing popping. All right, so Yolanda says I don't have AMC or whatever it comes on.
No, that explains that.
She also agrees with. I totally agree. There's way too many people in that family. The Don Callis family. Way too many people in that. She says 1,000.
The dollars kind of somehow I'm gonna end up cutting this, and I might get cussed out by some people. The Don Callis is the T-Mo version of the NWO.
Yeah, the T-Mo version, absolutely. We're gonna talk about it later, but I'm going to throw it out there. Yolanda says those two should have never been in there in the first place. JC and the other guy, Tungaloa. Yolanda says Coffee deserves a better send-off than just being released. We're gonna talk about that. It's a little deeper than that, but we're gonna talk about that. Yolanda says Trick is too funny. She says I want mixed tag division. Says they have way too many couples to not do it, and they can even have titles like AAA. So, in the words of Trick Williams, let's talk about it. What you think about mixed tag team champions? I mean, he's stealing everything else from AAA. Why not?
Well, they did this early. Remember, they had the old mixed tag team tournaments.
They had the thing, but there wasn't a division with championships. So we're saying like an actual division with championships, like AAA does. Like you have a mixed tag team champions, like Ethan Page and the whining chick was
Chelsea Green.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, where has Chelsea Green been?
Remember, she was storyline injured. But ain't no more Secret Hervis.
Ain't no more Secret Hervis. Alpha got a release. Miss Piper. Miss Piper has dropped weight. Congratulations.
I haven't seen her lately.
She dropped, I think it's dropped about 50 pounds.
That's good. I love to hear it, honestly.
So she should come back.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Because she had move limitations. And that's another person where, like, I ain't no hater, but I just want people to be able to have a good career. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And to do that, sometimes you gotta drop that weight.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I know Chelsea Green's annoying, but y'all could do more with Chelsea Green.
Yeah.
Y'all can actually do more with Chelsea Green.
He tweet the character all day. All day.
Now, my question on the men's side is, what you're gonna do with Tama Tonga? He said, "Smack, I want to see what y'all gonna do with Chelsea Green, and I want to see what y'all gonna do with Tama Tonga."
Yolanda said she liked Chelsea too. Big bro, the guy Wise in the building. What's going on, Wise? Shout out to you, big homie. So I gotta tell y'all, this is a little personal story. It's kind of funny, right? So my guy Wise had something he was going to shoot to me. He was actually down here for some personal stuff, and y'all, I was so sick. I didn't get a chance to bump into my man while he was here, bro. So now I got to catch him the next time he be down this way, or I go up that way. My bad on that, Wise, but your boy was dog sick. It wasn't even pretty. You probably heard in my voice when I had talked to you, but yeah, your boy was struggling there. And it wasn't nothing pretty. But I have got a chance to kick it with Wise before, man. And side note, it's important to try to connect with your people, man. It's very important because you don't know, when something gonna happen. But yeah, I appreciate you, Wise. And then B Neal 6644, B Nizzle in the building. He says, "What's up, fellas? Whoop that trick. Get him."
What's up?
Perfect time. We're talking about trick. I would agree with you. I would say LA Knight, but we ain't at Raw yet. I'm trying to remember who's actually still on SmackDown because he's supposed to be on SmackDown, but you know how things go. You're supposed to be on one show, then you challenge for a title on the other show, then you lose, you back on your show, you win, you on that show.
Jacob Fatu. That's popped up Raw out of nowhere.
Yeah. Wow, says I missed my chance with base. Yeah, man. I was in Chicago, like a year ago, and I had said when I went up there I was gonna try to link up with him and grab some breakfast or lunch or whatever. But then I was with my homeboys and I forgot, so I never. Yeah, but
like none of us knew Jacob Fatu was going to show up on Raw the night after WrestleMania.
Right. And then Wise says, I was in Chicago. I was supposed to see him. RIP to Chris Bates. Absolutely RIP to Chris Bates, man. That's, like I said last week, do mean a lot to me. Wise does as well, man. People that just, and this ain't, it's really not a show, but, we real people too. People that just, pour into you, man, and help you. And they don't even want nothing out of it. They just want you to be better. You know what I'm saying? Those are the type of people that you got to have around you, or whatever you do in life. And Wise is one of those people. Bates is one of those people for me, for sure. Was one of those people for me. In my mind, still is, because I can still hear it, stuff he told me and stuff we talked about when we had conversations. So, SmackDown. Honestly,
I'm surprised you ain't.
Sammy's unutilized. Who was you about to say?
I thought you were going to go with your boy. I'm surprised you ain't bring your boy up.
My boy who?
Mr. He Don't Miss.
Oh, Mello? Mello got to get married and get settled first. Now that he in that situation, because, But he's doing good thing with the United States Championship. I don't quite feel that he's underutilized yet, because when he gets his shot, he ready. He did get the United States Championship for a minute, but honestly, Melo just got pushed aside by the Trick Wave. To be honest with you, right? They was like, "Oh, Melo, you next up," and then Trick Williams walked out there with his lemon pepper steppers. And the whole crowd started yelling, "Whoop that trick!" And they was like, "Oh, we got to switch this. Slide over to that Trick Willie." So I think it's more for Melo. The reason I ain't saying is because I think it's more Trick Williams kind of got that spot because of how hot he is right now. When we talking about Sami Zayn, the reason I say Sami Zayn is we need a bad guy Sami Zayn terrorizing Cody Rhodes. And we getting it. Slowly but surely, we getting it. But we need a big play. He don't have to beat him, but he needs to be at that level competing with Kevin. Owens could do it. We need Sami Zayn to do it. Like he ain't got to win, but he needs those matches. He needs that spotlight. And him and Cody are good friends in real life, so they should have good chemistry. But he needs that. They need to give Sami that. What you think about Raw?
Monday Night Raw. I already know you say LA Knight, so
Definitely saying LA Knight.
he's saying LA Knight. For me, well, since they made their return, let's see what you gonna do this time with the Street Profits since they're back. Because you didn't want to use it on SmackDown like you should. But since they're on Raw now, let's see what you do with the Street Profits. So I got the Street Profits. You probably gonna disagree with me, but I am ready for Roxanne to go on her own. I'm ready for Roxanne to go on her own.
I'm not gonna disagree with you. And to answer the faction question for myself that I didn't answer earlier, Finn Balor needs a faction. In my opinion.
Okay.
And Roxanne Perez could be the woman in it. The only woman in it.
Now, according to some people, they're trying to put two demons together.
Stephanie Vaquer.
Yep.
I know it's Vaquer, I'm just being funny. You know, somebody be in the comments, it's Vaquer. I feel like there's not really a connection though between Stephanie Vaquer and Finn to make it make sense. Like you could do a match or something with them against Dom and Liv, but like for them to be in a faction together, I mean, we can't do nothing supernatural because WWE doesn't do well with supernatural characters.
Yeah, like they brought
the whole Wyatt family got the boot.
Yeah, just like they brought the demon back at WrestleMania for no reason.
And my thing is, so let's talk about that. Since you brought it up, let's do a trick. We'll talk about it real quick. You're gonna bring back the demon to fight Dom Mysterio. That's who the demon coming back to fight. You got to dig down deep. You got to become the demon to beat Dominic Mysterio. Just think about that. I ain't even gonna just think about what I'm saying to you. Listen to what I'm saying to y'all. You had to become the demon to beat Dominic Mysterio.
By the way, we don't care that it was a WrestleMania. His opponent
not
was
Roman
Dominic
Reigns,
Mysterio.
Not Jacob Fatu, not Rey Mysterio. You know what I'm saying? Not LA. That you could give about 40 people. Not Rhea Ripley, Jay Cargill over Dom Mysterio for the demon. You could have came out as Finn Balor with no hair on your face, the rock and roller from New Japan, and beat Dom Mysterio. And I don't want to hear about big head JD McDonald because I had to step out of the way and let that head go. He ran man. That big head. He ain't gonna do nothing. So yeah. Do better. That's all I gotta say. Just do better. Just do better.
And now.
So now,
you know what?
Before you
know what? No, before we do that, I was gonna go that route. I want to end with I want to end with that. I think it'd be better to end with that.
We got two things we're gonna end with. We're gonna do the Backlash Preview net. Before we get to that, TNA. Who do you feel like is underused in TNA?
You know, some people might hate this, but since they brought her back, what are they doing with Tessa Blanchard?
I agree.
Like,
She's
what?
in like this weird thing with Allie. I agree. She should be um doing something more than that. I agree. She should be doing something more than that.
Some of y'all might not like her, but I'm like, they brought
I
her
want to
back
see
for a
them do
reason. So
something. TNA, I got a couple of people. Indy Hartwell is one of my ladies. You need to do something more with her. Victoria Crawford, since you brought it back, you need to do something more with her.
I don't know why y'all
Mara
brought her back.
Sade,
I'm
she's
saying,
more than
now
third.
that's the name that I want to hear.
She's more than
I'll
a
say,
third wheel with Rosemary.
I'm like, y'all brought Victoria back, but we all know Victoria's past her prime.
Right. And then Alicia Edwards needs to get in the ring or just retire. Yeah, I'm just saying. So that's some people for me and Elena Black too. A lot of the women they got, she's winning some matches, but you really, in my opinion. When you come to the men in TNA, how much time we got? The obvious choice is AJ Francis. Like if you're gonna bring him in, do
He's
something
feuded with one person.
everybody in order
He's
for
feud.
Mustafa Malik.
He does a feud,
Ali.
and he's gone for about
You gotta do
a
more
month.
with.
And then he's on social media doing all types of stuff. Comes back, does another feud, and he's gone again.
So yeah. And what's funny is, I want to say you need to do something more with Ariana Grace, and she is the women's world champion. You need to do more with her. And then Mustafa Ali is the international champion. You need to do more with him.
Ariana Grace be on NXT more than she
You
be on
got champions
TNA.
you ain't doing nothing with. Anybody else you want to add?
Nah, I'm good.
All right, lastly, AEW.
I ain't even gonna answer because there's way too many different people.
Well, you know, I'm starting with my boy Swerve in the Hurt Business all day. The Hurt Syndicate all day. I was about to say,
I'm like, yeah,
Anthony.
Swerve, the Hurt Syndicate. Where's Hook been at?
He was hurt. He was out hurt. Samoa Joe was out hurt. So now the new ops is Anthony Bowens, Hook, and Samoa Joe. Anthony Ogogo needs to be on TV. He's a solid dude, but he just can't get a push. And it really everybody in Ring of Honor. We just say the whole Ring of Honor roster needs.
I said too many. There's too many names.
They just need to absorb them.
It's like, let's pick a name out of a hat. There's how many names.
Yeah.
For AEW, let's pick a name out of the hat. You would not be wrong.
The whole bottom half of the Don Callis family. Y'all probably forgot about this group. Private Party. They still exist. Remember them?
There's too many names. You can just put all of them in a hat. Just pick one. You would not get a no for me or cool.
Yeah, you're probably right. They got Satnam Singh over there. This dude is huge. He don't do nothing. Oh yeah, I was talking about factions. I forgot about Skyflight, Scorpio Sky, and Top Flight. They got their little faction, Skyflight. So yeah, I would definitely say for AEW for factions, we don't need more. We just may need to decrease the factions and improve them. Everybody ain't got to be in affection. Some people should just be on their own.
Some fake news.
Some people just need to lose on their own, bro. We need a group of people to lose. Some people
Oh my god. Well, we can treat this thing with AEW like the Royal Rumble. Roll the thing and pick a ball out and
whoever run down.
yeah. That's what you need to do more with. Yes. All right, your turn. You will pick a ball out. That's what you got. Yep, they need to do more of that person too.
It feel like that's what Tony Khan be doing, but he do it while he in the powder tornado. I would feel like. I'm saying.
You can make a Royal Rumble of the people they are underutilizing. You can create a whole Royal Rumble with it.
What about NXT? Anybody from NXT? You feel like they're underutilizing? I'm gonna say all them cakes they got there now need to be seen more. That's what I'm gonna say.
So many.
That's what they got.
See, NXT have a good problem. They only got 2 hours.
All them cakes need to be frosted. And the frosted cakes need to be on display. Feel me?
I'll go this way. I won't say underutilized, but I would say they misused. Dark State.
Okay.
Because when you first bought them, I'm like, oh, they about to run NXT. They finna run NXT. Okay. We finna have a faction that's finna run NXT. And then it just went flat.
I did that.
Yeah, you gave them the tag team titles, but you gave them the tag team titles when we didn't even caring about the tag team titles. NXT did. It was like the NXT Championship, the North American Championship. Which one of them titles y'all finna go snatch first?
You're not wrong. You are not wrong. All right, sir. I'm gonna turn this over because I know it's 2 things you want to talk about.
Do I really want to talk about the 2? Do I really want to talk about the 2 things? Because to be honest with you, I'm gonna ask this question: what is your interest level in Backlash right now?
About the same as my interest level in the Speed Championship.
That was my point.
But I mean, we should at least pick matches.
No, we're gonna cover it. We're gonna do what we do. Just saying, like, man, y'all know this is real feelings here. Like, people are not happy with WWE at the moment. So Backlash might not look so good to people right now.
Well, you know how you know this, that they know it's not going to be good? When they dig up the carcass of John Cena again to appear and make a major announcement. That's how you know stuff ain't going good.
But it is what it is. All right. I don't care who y'all choose to be Danhausen's partner. Danhausen and whoever he chooses is going to beat The Miz and Kit Wilson.
Me and Danhausen could beat Kit Wilson at The Miz.
Really, The Miz is only there to put over time. That's the only thing he's doing.
He puts over everybody.
Kit Wilson, you're just...
He puts over everybody.
You're just there. Actually, Miz is there for a reason. Miz has done what he has done in his career.
You're there to eat the pin, Kit Wilson. That's what you're there for, sir.
The disrespect. The disrespect of this match. I'm going to say this, and I know my co-host is going to agree with me 1,000,000% when I say this. Oscar versus Kyrie should not be at a freaking Backlash PLE. But you know what? You want to know why is that a Backlash PLE? Because speaking of underutilized, you underutilized both of them.
Always have, except when Damage Control was hot, was the only time them or Bailey got any real shine.
Anybody that's a wrestling fan would tell you if you put Oscar versus EO Sky on the card, they probably gonna say that better be at SummerSlam or at a WrestleMania.
That should have been a WrestleMania match. If you ain't talking about that should have been a WrestleMania match, I ain't trying to hear what you got to say. Them matches that we had night one, bro, that match was better than you enter your percent, but it's high of those matches. That's all I'm gonna say.
But we're at Backlash, so Mr. McCain is EO Sky versus Oscar.
It only makes sense for EO Sky to win, in my opinion. Oscar ain't got no backup. EO Sky is quote unquote hotter right now. And Oscar actually let her do something.
And to be honest, Oscar don't even feel like the heel no more without Kyrie saying.
Oscar just feels like she there,
She don't even feel like a heel no more.
Yeah, she feels like she's just in the way.
And that's disrespectful for us to say that because we both know how Oscar is.
Yeah, it's very disrespectful.
Because Oscar can't actually be a heel.
Oscar should be whooping your ass.
But she's not. Well, we already said Trick Williams was retaining the United States Championship, so goodbye, Sammy. Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker. If Braun Breaker doesn't win this match, then what are we doing with him?
Exactly.
I'm sorry to take the words out your mouth, but
you didn't quite take the words, but you definitely took the thought. It wasn't the exact same words, but yeah, that was a thought, 100%.
Like, it better be Braun Breaker. I like Seth Rollins, but this need to be Braun Breaker.
And Seth Rollins can eat 7 losses in a row, and it won't matter.
But this is where things get interesting. World Championship match, Roman Reigns versus Jacob Fowler 2. Now, we will say Roman Reigns is winning this match because it's his first title defense.
Normally.
However, if you have not been paying attention, Roman Reigns got pulled from the month of June all of a sudden.
So let me.
I know they said he's not advertising anymore for the month of June. No, they pulled him for the month of June. Because I know. I'm pretty sure me and him, we know what's going on backstage between him and TKO.
Yeah, I think from what I'm getting, a lot of these guys, TKO is trying to go to them and say, you need to make less money. Right? So you're going to tell Roman Reigns you need to make less money and you got to work more. You know what I'm saying? And let me be clear. They are correct by the numbers. Right? I'm paying you X amount of dollars. You're only working so many days. So in order for that to make sense, you need to take a pay cut. But if you're Roman Reigns, what are you gonna say? Okay, what's going on, Daniel Barry? Appreciate you stopping as always. That's what I'm hearing. Also another rumor that I heard, and you may have heard some different stuff. Another rumor that I heard was they're doing it so that we don't know who's going to win this match to try to drum up more for Backlash. So let's remove Roman Reigns for everything after Backlash, because if he quote unquote loses, he's not going to be around after Backlash. Because Roman Reigns lose, he'll be gone for 3 or 4 months. So I can see either one. I'm sure there's at least some preliminary talk backstage, like, hey, I mean, you've been getting a lot of money, you ain't really been doing nothing. And they're not wrong, but you have to understand who it is and how you need to play it. But TKO is looking at this straight from the business side, you know, and that's my thoughts on it.
May I borrow a word from you?
Sure.
May I borrow a word from you? I'm not saying it towards you. You just giving out the information. I call bullspit. You want to tell you know why? You want to tell you why I call bullspit?
No swallow.
You know, you want to tell you why I do that? Because you have a game plan in place that you ain't trying to deviate from, and we, the two of us, I said this on Shooting Lights Out. I'm gonna say it here. Yeah, we was born at night. We wasn't born last night. Your goal for this summer is for Obafemi to be the top guy. How is Obafemi gonna be the top guy? By beating Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. Why you got him away from Roman Reigns? That's why you're doing the open challenge.
So here's what I think.
Let me say this. Because TKO, I'm pretty sure Triple H is telling y'all, if you want people to really believe, and even though people already believe in Obafemi, but if you really want people to really believe in the championship reign that Obafemi is finna grab, he has to beat Roman Reigns at SummerSlam.
So here's what I'm gonna say. He fights Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. He can't beat Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. Tell you why he can't beat Roman Reigns. It's too early. Now, what should, in my opinion, of course, it's all opinion, my opinion, the match has to happen, and he has to look strong, but he makes that one mistake, and Roman gets him. Because if you put the belt on Obafemi right now, what have you done? I want to tell you what you do if you put the belt on right now. You just ruined that man's career. You put that belt on him before at least WrestleMania next year, and you just ruined that man's career. You want to know how? How is he going to top that? What can he do to top debuting and winning the WWE Championship or the World Heavyweight Championship in 6 months or less? He can't do anything to top that. You have to give him some struggle. You got to before you get that championship. You got
The problem is we ain't gonna have Roman Reigns after SummerSlam.
It doesn't. He'll be back for WrestleMania. You don't need Obafemi to have that belt before at least a year in the business. Well, I mean, not in the business, but on Raw. Because anything before that, you're giving him nothing else that he can accomplish, and people don't care no more. But he's got to be in a match, and it's got to be a competitive match at SummerSlam. But he can't win. It's for the best for him long term for him not to win.
And you can't put the title on Jacob File 2 at Backlash.
Yeah. I mean, you could, if there's really an issue, whether it's like health or something with his family or contract, you could, but see, this is all WWE wanted, in my opinion. They wanted us to be like, I don't know, because this is going on, that's going on, and this. So I don't know. I think that's what they wanted.
I ain't going for it.
What they wanted.
I'm not going for it.
I'm not going for it. I think that's what they wanted, but I'm not going for it. I won't born this morning or this afternoon or last night.
Which makes things interesting because now you have mutually parted ways with Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. And then on top of that, you release Jason Mateo and Tonga Loa. I will let my co-host say what he got to say and close the show out.
Let me get ready for this. Paul, TKO, you idiots. You literally let one of your best tag teams of all time go. Why? Because they didn't want to take a sucker pay cut. You ain't been featured on TV. You've been making one of them team with Grayson Waller. And not only that, you did in the middle of a storyline with Javon Evans and Kofi Kingston. Kofi could have been there a few more months, mentored Javon Evans, but y'all got to try to come and just make people take garbage contracts. And then when they don't, what do? You get rid of them. What's funny to me about all this is you just got rid of Motor City Machine Guns. That made no sense. And let's go back to the beginning of the New Day. Vince McMahon wanted them to be preachers and do a preacher gimmick. That's why we was getting the promos we was getting at first. He wanted to be a preacher gimmick, but they took it and they made it work for all these years. And, there was a time where I was sick of the New Day, right? I'm not going to front. But this last about 2 or 3 months, they had started growing me again because I was realizing you're not giving them many opportunities anyway. So they got to take the little scraps they giving, the little crumbs, and make something happen. They was doing their best to make that happen. These are guys that don't ever really get opportunities. These are guys that don't get a lot of love and a lot of different things from most of the internet community. They still go out there and do their job. And you just said, we don't care that we signed this contract. We don't care how good you are. We don't care what you've done in the past. Take this pay cut or y'all need to go. And New Day said, we'll go. So now AEW is about to get another great tag team. And I will say this. All the smack I talk, did I say AEW's tag team division needs to be highlighted more? I did not. You know why? There's the one company that the tag team division stay hot. And the way they do it is they have matches between tag teams. Listen to this, WWE. Listen to this, TNA. They have matches between tag teams that don't have to be the top tag teams and don't have to be for championships or number one contenders match. It can just actually be, this is crazy. It's crazy in today's society. 2 good tag teams, up and coming, established, whatever, just wrestling for the sake of wrestling. I know it's crazy. I know it's new to TKO, right? I know Triple H and them, I'm talking Triple H right now. I know Triple H and them understand that, but TKO, the impact that you're having on WWE is you don't understand the wrestling business. You just understand the money. And while New Day hasn't performed as a top team, quote unquote, lately, who they are makes a difference. You're going to give a gold mine of talent to AEW. This is a better Edge and Christian. A much better, even younger Edge and Christian. And I think they're going to flourish when they get over there in 90 days or 88 days or however many days it is now. As far as JC Mateo and Tangaloa, remember what I said when Tangaloa first appeared? The GOD are now in WWE. I was wrong. We had the MFTs, and MFT stands for something different in my mind right now, but we had the MFTs versus the Wyatts. And basically almost everybody in that thing is gone. And Jeff Cobb, you should be rejoicing with happiness. And that's who they call JC Mateo. Jeff Cobb, you should be rejoicing in happiness. They have let you free. You was like, I'm a star. Give us free. And you are now free, sir. Because you, sir, are a bounty hunter and a monster. And in WWE, they had too much constraints and control on you. So I'm glad that you're gone. I mean, I'm sure the money was worth it, but just for your legacy and your character. Tangaloa, you should thank them for ever bringing you back. I ain't even going to front. You have not been good in WWE. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just, the amount of this vitriol you get from the fans for your lack of quality moves, botches, all that stuff, and you have a lot of them. And some of them ain't your fault because it's never really one person's fault when there's a lot of botches. Because if someone's off, it makes one person look off, but it could be the other person. But Tungaloa, the GOD was the only chance I saw for you being there long term. And when they didn't make the GOD, I was like, yeah. Or some version of that in WWE. I knew your time was coming, bro. I mean, I could get real mad, but ain't no point because after they did this with the New Day, it's your boys, the New Day, and the new music, and kicking Big E out, and then they had Odyssey Jones, but then they got rid of him, and then he wasn't found guilty. They didn't bring him back to be like that extra muscle for Kofi and Xavier, and time was running out. I mean, you put Grayson Waller with him, I knew time was running out. So, but the Javon Evans thing should have been finished off. It should have worked out some type of deal for him to finish that. But, it is what it is. Another great tag team bites the dust. They're going to finish their legacy somewhere else. Great job, TKO. It won't be the last time either. If you're a tag team, like the Street Profits and stuff in WWE, you better watch what's going on. They'll take the championships and throw them on two dudes they ain't never really teamed together before they give them to these actual established teams. Y'all better be paying attention. Now I'm going to let Playmaker say what he got to say. I'm going to go in the background. Whenever he come back. Is he coming back? Who knows? But while we waiting on Playmaker to pop back on, I just want to say I've been, even WrestleMania really, I've been really disappointed with a lot of storylines, not just WWE, but overall with all the companies. And I feel like they just do a better job of defining what they want to do long term. If you got a long-term goal to get to, how we get there. And one way you get to a Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton match at WrestleMania is not to have Cody Rhodes beat Drew McIntyre like a month before WrestleMania. You don't have to do that. If you're only going to give McIntyre the belt for 3 months, just don't even give it to him. Just let Cody keep it. Right? And I will say, Cody trying to fight the world kind of makes me appreciate him a little bit more. Kind of makes me cheer for Cody a little bit. But not because he got the belt back. I think Cody in a feud that doesn't require the championship so he can go to somebody else is the best path for everybody involved by mid-year. So by SummerSlam, I think we can get that belt off Cody and have him in a feud that doesn't require the championship. Because monopolization of the championship is the fastest way, and we see it happening right now. It's the fastest way for people to get sick of your face. It's the truth. And Cody, they getting sick of you, bro. Because you champ, you QB1 all the time. You could be the storylines, you can be the main event, but you can't always be champion. So WWE, that's something you got to fix. Street Profits are now on Raw. Apparently, they didn't come to help Seth Rollins. They just came for the tag team championships. Don't know where they're going with the storyline, but the only thing that would make sense is for them to join. It's a temporary alliance with Seth to try to do something to the division. Right? Still outnumbered, but at least that would balance out numbers a little bit more. Stay thirsty, my friends. Still not back, okay? You can keep it moving. Champions. So I have the champions for some different promotions. So TNA, Mike Santana is your world champ. Leon Slater is your X Division champ. Mustafa Ali is your international champ. The System, Bear Bronson and Brian Myers are your world tag team champions. Ariana Grace is the knockout champion. And the Elegance brand, Heather by Elegance and M by Elegance, are your women's women's tag team champions. So those are your champions. And you notice we're talking about the difference between that and AEW, right? Because AEW 10 championships. And let's talk about who those people are right now. If you watch the replay, who do you think is going to be the first of the champions that we're talking about to lose their championship? So, of course, AEW champion, we got Darby Allin. Women's champion, we got Thekla. And I must say, Thekla has proven to me in the last about month that she has aura and she can go. So I'm gonna give her a chance. I wasn't sold on it first, but I'm seeing something. Willow Nightingale, TBS champion. John Moxley, the Continental champion. FTR, the tag team champions. The Divine Dominion are the women's tag team champions. Jack Perry is the national champion. Kazuchika Okada is your international champion. The Conglomeration are your world tag team champions. And then Kevin Knight is your TNT champion. Those are your current championships. You notice there's no MJF. MJF is going to be back for somebody's championship. So everybody better be on the watch out because he'll come for anybody's championships. That's how he do. Now, I guess the last thing I want to say, we're going to take care of stuff here. We're going to keep it moving. I appreciate everybody watching. Check out the replay. Make sure you share, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. We'll be back next week. We're trying to do some different things behind the scenes. So hit us up on the YouTube page or send me a message at Cool McCain on at Cool McCain on Facebook or whatnot. And trying to get some different ideas, some different stuff to do. Just shake things up a little bit. Do some different things with the show, kind of like we did tonight. Shout out to everybody who watched. Shout out to everybody who commented. Shout out to everybody who sees the replay. And remember, it's never where you start. It's always where you finish. And also, come back next week. Bring about 3 or 4 friends. And we can do the thing. For the Playmaker, it's your boy Cool McCain. We'll be back next week. Until then, enjoy Raw. Enjoy all the wonderful wrestling that you'll see this week. And we out.